Okay. Greetings, everybody. Uh, Thanks for attending my book event. My name is Russel, Alden, Arlotta. I'm very thankful everybody took the time to attend this book event. And can everybody hear me? Okay. Okay. So this is the book that I'm promoting is a book that I finished in 2020 and I released it in a quarter of 2021. But I it took a, but I still had to learn a bunch of process before I could release it in 2021. But this is my first book event for the book, and so I want to before I begin, I want to say that some of the acknowledgments that made this book possible. So first, I want to thank the illustrator of this book. He 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 made a painting for me, direct from Cameroon, and he painted it in Cameroon, and then he had to ship it over, uh, the sea. And oh, one second. And he had to. So the illustrator, Amunwa Linus Kayaman, he's from Cameroon. Right now, he's not in Cameroon, but he's a great painter, a great colleague, and a great friend. And if you need an amazing painter, just contact me, and I will get you in touch with Kaya. So let's give a round of applause for Kaya. And so now that there's also additional acknowledgments, but so first I'm gonna say all of them, and then after we'll give a big round of applause for everybody. So I'd like to thank the project collaboration team from from Cameroon. My friend Silas, he lives here, but they have friends Kaya and Atoike in Cameroon. So Silas and Atoike were the project collaboration team between USA and Cameroon. So that's how they did all the coordination between me and Kaya so that we could work on this book, you know, continents apart, and also they helped get the painting over to Maryland. And I also thank the proofreaders of this book. Um, Katie, a friend of my sisters, and my parents. And my mom and dad especially read every edition of every single book except for my most recent book, the YouTube book, which I made after uh, dad passed away. But the YouTube book, just by the way, it's in the bag, and it's my most successful book by far. It has almost 400 book reviews and mostly like 5 stars. So, and I also thank my technical support and formatting specialist, my sister. Her name is Allison. But behind all of my projects, there's tons of technical issues. There's tons of glitches that happen, and my sister's probably invested maybe 500 hours just helping me. Maybe, definitely, it really adds up. Like the amount of work my sister does. She's a technical support and formatting specialist, and I also thank my parents. They like you really can't make all this book, and I've now written 7 books, so you really need great parents to write lots of books. So I'm very thankful to my parents. And I also thank Politics and Prose Opus Self Publishing Division. This is a bookstore in DC, and this is where I got started with writing self publishing. So if you're thinking of writing a book, I highly recommend Politics and Prose's Opus Self Publishing, and I also think their former manager. His name is Mr. Gareth. I think he went somewhere else because he was a great. He probably moved way up, and he's really helpful. He was really helpful for me in 2021 and 2022. So I'm very thankful to Gareth. And I'd also like just like some behind the scenes thanks. I I want to thank a few content creators that have really been a constant source of positivity that I've listened to in the background ever since 2012. So I'm a big fan of sports commentary. So I thank Commanders Kings, NFC East Super Friends. I thank Louis T, Ed Oliver, Street Scores, or Rio Robinson, and I really appreciate all their work because it's really helpful to just listen to something like all day, just have it playing in the background. So I'm thankful for the sports commentary that provides some relaxation behind some of the projects. So with all of this, let's give a round of applause for everybody. Okay, so I also want to just remind everyone that uh, I want to thank Cafe Cafe. They hosted my first book event last year, and where I did this book, and the second edition of this book will be released later in the summer. So I'm excited about that, and I, I and I also think I'm also want to say that remember my dad made albums, and he made a fourth album. He sang it in hospice care, so his friends put the add the additional tracks onto it after. So the fourth album's coming out this year. So everybody make sure to follow Russ Arlotta on Spotify, every single platform there is. He's on all of them. So and he's a, and we're really excited about the new album. So, to begin with this book, where does this book begin? So we have to time travel back to 2013 to the Montgomery College Study Lounge. And so in 2013, while studying in the student lounge of Montgomery College camp, Tacoma Park campus, an idea arose to me that would eventually create my pseudonym, this book, and my entire writing career. And so I, at this time, I was in the lounge and I was listening to Sinhala music, Polish music, Hindi music, and Amharic music, and also Tigrinya music, but not as much. But I did want to point that out because some of my best friends speak Tigrinya, so I really wanted to shout them out. And so I love music, and I love listening to music on my headphones in the lounge. And so on that day in 2013, while journaling, I had a coffee and a soda, and that was before zero sugar soda. So now I have zero sugar soda, thankfully. But before I was not healthy at all. I was so I'm happy that I that they have zero sugar now. And so an idea occurred to me that day that struck me really deeply. So I want to thank again the musicians, Sinhala, Polish, Hindi, Amhara, and the musicians from this place really helped me with, and I really enjoyed journaling and listening to music. So I'm really thankful to the musicians, and in particular Sinhala and Amharic most so it wasn't just one random day to make this book. I mean, until I thought of the idea, I just went to the lounge, and every day I did that for like a few months. So it was like just one random day out of the month that I brainstormed basically the idea for this book. So on that great day in 2013, while journaling in an art journal, I thought of chronicling all my accomplishments day by day with a numbered chart table. So it's important to note out that this goal setting workbook, it's not a calendar. It doesn't use pre-formatted uh, dates like a calendar. It uses numbers. So you can use it any year. You can do a time machine and time travel back and pick up where you last left off. So that's why you'll see in my pseudonym the cycle case number, goal invention, system author. So that's my pseudonym is it all make sense. And so I'd also just want to briefly point out that the so this is how so on that great day in 2013, I thought of chronicling all my accomplishments day by day with a numbered chart table. And so this is accomplishments, cycle one accomplishment stage. So there's 32 case numbers, and each one of these case numbers right here relates to 1 day's worth of accomplishments. So at the end of the day, you would write your accomplishments. And there originally was 10, but I saved printing, so I made it 5 cycles. So basically, at the very least, if you don't want to complete, if the other stages are too difficult, you can just do the accomplishment stage. So cycle one, stage one, and then cycle two, stage one, which is like 8 pages later. So you can just and also I'm excited to announce that if anybody does accomplishment stages in stage one, I can personally help them learn the next stage, which is the goal invention stage. But um, so I just wanted to point that out. So the very least, you could do cycle one, stage one, the accomplishment stage from cycle one to stage five, and none of the other stages, because I can help with that later. And uh, okay, I'm gonna take a brief drink. 1 second. Okay, so this challenge I set to myself in 2013 at the student lounge at Montgomery College, Tacoma, would eventually lead to the creation of the accomplishment stage or stage one. I created and tested out the accomplishment stage over about the time frame of a single season or 3 months. So one thing to remember, the accomplishment stage is it's not like the goal invention stage or the goal invention reflection stage. There's 3 stages in the system. The accomplishment stage is very relaxing. It's very contemplating, reflective. It only takes 4 to 10 minutes to complete in the evening. So if you don't feel like you're ready for the more complex, time-consuming stages, I highly recommend the accomplishment stage. And uh, so after after several months of writing my day-by-day accomplishments to the numbered chart table system in my drawing journal at MC's Montgomery College's student lounge in Tacoma, another amazing idea occurred. While journaling and listening to Sinhala music and Amharic music and drinking beverages, I thought of another life-changing and life-challenging idea. The idea that took place in the form of a question. Would it be possible to invent goals based and inspired upon my prior monthly accomplishments written down on my numbered chart table of accomplishments? This simple, challenging idea in 2013 ultimately would lead me to the authorship of 7 books, beginning from 2019 to present. And uh, so I, it was that moment where I created the goal invention stage. So I'll briefly show the goal invention stage. This, uh, this is the goal invention stage. If you see, it looks very similar to the accomplishment stage. Like this book, it really appears really difficult, but in the future, I'm gonna work on something to make it seem more easy. But it's similar to it. All stages use case numbers. So that's um let's see. So the creation of the goal invention stage. This challenge I set to myself in 2013 of inventing goals inspired by my accomplishments at the student lounge of MC Tacoma would eventually lead to the creation of the goal invention stage, or stage two. I created and tested out the goal invention stage over about the time frame of 4 months. And so it's important to point out the goal invention stage is different than the accomplishment stage. It's it's challenging, it's mentally difficult, it requires patience, and it's fulfilling. But uh, I feel that the fact that it takes a long time, or it can take time, and that it's difficult. That's what makes the goal invention as a mental therapy sport and hobby so rewarding. So that's why I picked the title of the book, because I wanted to highlight what why I did all of this, um, this hobby. And so the positive, rewarding feeling that I experienced in 2013 in the student lounge, um, from this book, I was in complete surprise. I was very shocked. I didn't know all this was possible in life. Like, I really hadn't really accomplished anything prior. Or maybe I shouldn't say that, but the I I accomplished so much more than I thought I could. I overexceeded myself, expectations of what I could do, what I could think of, what goals I could create. So it really woke me up. This Just pursuing this goal setting workbook, the cycle case number goal invention system, and that just reminds me, I, I needed to do one more acknowledgement to the event manager for this book event. So I'm very thankful to Tacoma Park Library's event manager for including me in their monthly city newspaper. So if at home or wherever you can, make sure to get this month's Tacoma Park newspaper, because I'm in a one square. Me and Kaya is so make sure. And yeah, I'm glad I remembered that. One second. Okay, so uh, the goal invention stage was so exciting, challenging, and one second. I just I didn't get okay, good. Uh, so the goal invention stage was so exciting, challenging, and mentally rewarding. I wanted more. Um, and I set another challenging question to myself. Could I invent goals based and inspired upon goals from the goal invention stage? So, this challenge I set to myself in 2013 of inventing goals inspired by my goals at the student lounge at MC Tacoma would eventually lead to the creation of the goal invention reflection stage, or stage 3. And I created and tested out the goal invention reflection stage over about the time frame of 4 months. And this is the whole invention reflection stage is the next it's also very similar, and it uses the same concept of case numbers. So when I decided the pseudonym, what the name would what the goal would be, it'd be like just it sounds weird, but it's just right. The cycle case number goal invention system author. That's what this book is. The workbook. And so So the goal invention reflection stage 3 results. So the goal invention reflection stage is similar to the goal invention stage in that it's difficult. It requires patience, mental effort, dedication. It'll tire your mind. Like your mind will be tired. Like a lot of the goal invention stage and goal invention reflection stage. My brain's always tired after I perform a session of inventing goals, but it's enjoyable. It's like the the best hobby there is. And so after I made a cycle, the goal the, after I made stage 3, the goal invention reflection stage, I knew that my goal setting workbook was complete. Later on, when I made the book, I thought it would benefit from having a cycle review section. So I added a cycle review section to review cycles. You could review cycles later. Um, and a lot of this book, I'm not very educated. I only took like one class. I only have a associate's degree. So I want to briefly thank a bunch. I'm going to thank a bunch of teachers, and then I'm going to ask for a big round of applause. So I, I all of the skills that I used to make this book was entirely from Montgomery College Tacoma Park campus. So I would like to thank I'd like to thank Mr. Montgomery College Tacoma staff and professors. So I thank Mr. Rolf Barber. So uh, 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 Mr. Rolf Barber was very helpful to me, and I often talked with him, and he helped me navigate Montgomery College, and he was very, very supportive. And basically, there wasn't there wasn't another employee like him. He's very outgoing, so I really appreciated it. And uh, and I remember telling him in like 2020 that I was gonna write a book. So I was really excited. So I just want to share that. I was like telling him I was gonna write a book, and then I did. And then after that, I I wrote 7 books. Well, if you count this, 7. So I also thank Mr. Owen Powers. So Owen Powers, he was a person I like to journal like study lounge sometimes, and some other science lounges. No problem. Like, but so he was the manager, and I really appreciated all of his help and the use of the facility. And I thank Mr. Joel Levine. He helped me. He taught me all of the computers, all my computer skills to make this book is from one instructor, and I'm really thankful to him. And I thank my English teacher, Matthew Decker. He's a very, very tough teacher, but very good, very great. And everything I know from writing came from one class, from that college. So I'm very thankful to Matthew, to Mr. Matthew Decker. He's a very tough teacher and very great, very good. If you want to become a writer, I highly recommend his English classes. And I also thank Craig Kinsey. Uh, He's a good friend and a former boss, and he's a really great guy, great support, great swimmer. He also, I think he teaches water fitness. So if you're into like aquatics, let me know and I'll see if he has classes. I'm not sure. And I also thank Mr. Wendy, Mr. Daryl. Uh, they always, because I like to go there like on the weekends too, and they always say hi to me over the years. So I'm really thankful to Mr. Wendy and Mr. Daryl. And I thank all of the library English departments, because I actually volunteered at the library at the college. So I volunteered there. So I'm very thankful very thankful for all the librarians and all the English writing crew. There's a whole bunch of crew, and so all of this to write a book, you really need a solid background. So I'm really thankful for all. Let's give a round of applause for all these great people. I'm going to take a so I would eventually call my goal setting workbook method the cycle case number goal invention system. And I worked on creating and developing the cycle case number goal invention system on and off from 2013 to 2019 in drawing journals. And so I just, because my goal setting workbook uses case numbers, and I also use the concept of cycles, and it's all about inventing goals. So there it is, the cycle case number goal invention system author. And I don't know if you can see the banner there. It says you are the cycle case number goal invention system author. Because basically, if you learn this book, you, you too can become the cycle case number goal invention system author. And one of the most rewarding things for me personally is seeing my mom use the book. You know, and she's almost complete. She has the original one with 10 cycles. She's on like cycle 7. So it's not just me, and if it's been in practice. I know it works, and my mom recommends it. Um, and So basically, I wrote this book because I really wanted to chronicle all the years of working on this book. Like, I was feeling a little bit like I needed to let other people experience the book. So that's why I made the book. And it really, I want to give a thank again to the Cameroon collaboration team, Silas, Toyke, Kaya, my friend Silas, he's here, but they really got me through the their calmness, their relaxing. They really got me through to to make the book, and they especially Silas. He's very good person and very relaxing. So whenever I got worried about the book, he's like, "It's okay. Just everything will work it out itself out. You will just deal with something when you get there." So Silas is a great person. And also, we always got confused for one another at school. Well, I don't know why. He's from Cameroon, but we had similar uh, personality or something. Maybe the similar name. So the timeline for this book. So as I said, well, I haven't said it yet, but so I finished this in end of 2020, and I I but I released it in quarter one, so the first like of 2021, and I released it at Politics and Prose's Opus Self-Publishing Division in DC. And once again, Mr. Gareth, he is really great, very patient. You really, if you're starting to become an author, you really need to work with a hands-on company on a local level because there's so much stuff behind the scenes that will help you with, and it really adds a personal touch. So I'm very thankful for them, and I know my books wouldn't be where they are without their support. And so I'm gonna take a drink 1 second. So I wrote this book as I wanted to share with others all my findings, discoveries that I learned from creating this goal setting workbook. So I wanted others to experience the same benefits, the same rewards, the amazing emotions, the potential. And so right now I'm going to give some benefits of using goal invention as a mental therapy sport and hobby. So it is it is relaxing. It's it's also very challenging and rewarding, but there's also a couple other benefits. So it's highly rewarding and highly fulfilling. Like whenever I complete a stage or a cycle, I feel very proud of myself. Like it's very because it takes time and it's difficult. Uh, except for the stage one, that's easy. Well, one for me. uh, um, so it's also a very customizable hobby. So you can go invention like with this book. You can go anywhere. You can do this at a coffee store. You can do this at a lounge. You can do this at the beach. You can do this in a jungle anywhere. That's what I love about it. You can complete goal invention and with music. You can complete it with the no, with the background noise of a fan, or you can have the background, or you can have just silence. It's and so like that's what I really love about it. It's customizable. Like me and my mom, we've been doing we call it Gold Club. So we do Gold Club on the patio, and so we and I'm yeah, it's really great. So most importantly, the cycle case number goal invention system. It provides a workbook hobby that individuals can complete on written papers without the usage of electronic devices and without the usage of internet. And that's a big thing because uh, as technology becomes even more invasive and depressing, manual pens and paper activities such as writing goals are even more vital toward achieving general well being, stability, calmness, identity, individuality. So, goal invention and using the cycle case number goal invention system. I've personally found it's a great way to restore my mental homeostasis. So basically, what that means is if I'm feeling angry or I'm feeling totally not happy or content, I'll just use my goal book for a couple of days. I could disconnect from the internet, and then I'll just use the book, and I'll just do stages for days at a time. So it's very important. And I'm also very thankful to my mom because, to disconnect from the internet in these day and age, you're like, so we have a bread box. So I just put my phone in the box so I can't have it. She locks it. So thanks, thanks to mom, everybody needs someone to help them out. Um, and so inventing goals on physical papers is very important. It's a very important thing to do, especially with all the depressing technology. Technology is very, very uh, uh, negative to the brain. So, um, if any goes with physical paper, it's a great me time activity. So, uh, so my mama says that it's a great hobby because you get to perform a hobby without interacting with others and without using technology. So I call it saying that it's like if there's a phrase where you feel like yourself again hobby. That's what I really like. That also goes back to the mental homeostasis slogan that I mentioned before. Um, and so by performing the hobby of goal invention on physical papers without the usage of electronic devices, individuals can participate in a lifelong hobby that is a personal and real experience. As you can see from the other book that I included in the goodie bag, I'm not short of words for technology. Um, so I just want to give another little brief shout out to, to my sister Allison, and also to my mom, because everybody who has books here has it because of my mom, because she got them as a birthday gift for me. And so thanks to mom. And also this book in 2025 I made this version of it. This it's called semi abbreviated version. So originally this book was 320 pages. Then I got the book down a couple years later to 235, and this is the most recent semi abbreviated. uh, it's at like 167 pages. So this made it even more cheaper and allowed me to get it, mom, as a birthday present for everyone. And I'm very excited to announce that, my dad, he always wanted me to release this book, an abbreviated version. So I wanted to wait until the moment was right before I made an abbreviated version. But the moment is now good. I've thought of the ways to make this book in abbreviated format. So that's what I'm working on now. So I'm very excited that I'll be able to get this hobby more accessible to the masses in the future. And yeah, so this I know that would make my dad really happy because he read every edition of this book. So and he provided me, constructive criticism. So I know the semi abbreviated version, this that got me started, but it's gonna be a standalone. The abbreviated will be its own separate project. People can have the full or the abbreviated. And so since I released my lifelong hobby as a finalized book in early 2021, I've officially completed 4 workbook sections of 4 goal invention books, and that's with the 10 cycles. And I'm almost done with my fifth 10 cycle goal invention workbook. And every book that I buy, I reread and I officially complete. I'm gifted with thousands of hours of positive, challenging, relaxing, and rewarding mental moments in life. And with all the depressing technology stuff like that, and news and everything, you really need a hobby that can actually fill a void of time. Like, what can you do with so much free time? Then this is a great hobby for that. And every time I finished a book, I would always tell my dad and other people in my family, like, oh, I'm about to start a new book, a brand new, fresh book. So, because, and every time I started a new book, I'd be like, okay, the magic's not, it can't go on forever. I gotta hit a point where I can't stop. I don't have any more goals. But every year I make a book, every year I start a new book, I totally exceed my expectations. Like, it's really remarkable. So after about the second time, well, I was like, okay, it's just gonna be good every single time. And so, and if anybody that does accomplishment stages or stage ones, I can personally help them learn the goal invention stage, stage two. And so now I'm gonna do one a little. Um, this is gonna be my couple final segments for the I'm gonna first give a jumpstart guide to the accomplishment stage. So I guess if you have your book out, you can kind of look at the accomplishment stage. It's on page 117, I believe. Right? Right, Caitlin? 117. Okay. So uh there's 32 case numbers in a cycle, and one case number in a the accomplishment stage relates to 1 day's worth of accomplishments. So at the end in the evening, you just write down your accomplishments, and you can take breaks. You don't have to do this every day. You can just return to 1 day and then take a break, do the next another day, and it goes like that for all 5 cycles. So you could just do that from cycle one, stage one, cycle two, stage one, cycle three, stage one, cycle four, stage one, cycle five, stage one. That's a great way to get started. And so in the accomplishment stage, I'm going to give you a little preview. There's something I call the accomplishment roots. So there's 3 types of accomplishments that you perform in a day. And I thought of these roots because I wanted to include them. I wanted to have a way to brainstorm what was my accomplishments of the day. So the most common is a task. Like for example, so at the end of like today, let's say I was using this case number, I'd write did a book event, had it prepared for the book event, like put up the banner. The banner looked great. Uh, but so that's one type of accomplishment. The other is a phrase. So you think of a great thought, you think of a phrase like, oh, I thought of something great, a great phrase, or poetry, or like, oh, I said something amazing. So you'd write phrase and then quote, and then you write the phrase. And then the last type of accomplishment is called an idea not completed. So this is basically a goal. Like if you think of an idea that's not completed, just write it in the case number. And the reason why so it's called idea NC. The reason why I use idea NC is because uh, the accomplishment stage is not really meant to be about goals. It's just a little something I add into it. So in case you think of some kind of goal, then that's what you'd put that there. So basically, and on the top of each page, on the right corner of the stage one, it says the roots. So every evening whatever the day is, I think back and I think back on the roots. What was the task? What was the task I completed? What was the phrases I completed? What was the did I think of any ideas not completed, or that's a fancy way to say goal, but it's not really because I don't want stage one to be about goals. It's like it's something like very important. Uh, and so at the very now, so this was a jump starter. So to do the accomplishment stage, you'll still need to read the chapter one, to truly understand it. Uh, but that was just a jump start. I just wanted to get everybody at least a jump start, because if people just do the accomplishment stage, that'll mean the world to me. So even if nobody does the goal invention stage, which is what the main purpose of the book is, if people just love the accomplishment stage, that'll be just as important to me. And so don't and I only have a couple slides left, so I just want to uh, point out in everyone's goodie bag, I have the free book, the gold book, and if there's some spare bags, you have a friend that might want one, you can take one for them. And also include my recent book, From YouTube to Fake Tube, The Freedom to Disable Artificially Generated Content on YouTube and other social media applications. And uh, and this book is actually my it's my only book to be critically acclaimed. There's over 400 book reviews on Play Store, and I didn't do any promotion for it. So it's been in like the top 100 technology for like the free category for like, I don't know, 4 months. So it's when I first signed on to my account, like I didn't check it for like 4 months. I signed in, said like, well, I'm not gonna say because I don't want to get into analytics, but basically I was shocked because it's hard to get book reviews, and to get 400 book reviews on the digital version, that really meant a lot to me. And also in the bags, there's refrigerator magnets. So make sure to put the refrigerator magnets. One of them I made for my dad, his music. So make sure to put it on your refrigerator. And and I'm after the book event's over, I'm gonna move the table, and if anybody wants to take a picture in front of the banner, they can. And so and I really thank everybody for everyone taking the time to attend this book event. Um, Thanks to my sisters, Kaylin and Allison, and also Ashley. She's helping with everything. And thanks everybody for this book event. Thank you.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be okay. The sun gonna rise tomorrow like it did today. Don't dwell on your mistakes. Don't wallow in heartbreak. You and I and all the rest have had those days when we failed the test. Say you're sorry, make amends as best you can. Pick yourself back up, start again. When you make your fresh start with an open and chasing heart, you'll be humbler and wiser by far. Let love and forgiveness be our guiding star. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be okay. Sun gonna rise tomorrow, just like it did today. Everything's gonna be okay.